Eagle Eyes, Jennifer here.
Jennifer, did you hear? There was a big robbery last night at Mrs. Harper's party, and Sergeant Nail says I'm the star witness. I saw somebody take a ruby necklace from Mrs. Harper's room.
Wow, Nancy, who did it?
That's the mystery. I don't know. It was a masquerade party, and everyone was dressed in costume. Somebody in a big black cape. That's all I saw. You should go to the scene of the crime, Mrs. Harper's. Sergeant Nails is over there right now, looking for clues. He can use all the help he can get.
With the Eagle Eye Detective Agency on the case, he'll have it. Meet us here at the Eagle's Nest later on, Nancy. We're on our way. Mrs. Harper always has big parties. She's a real high society type. Here's Sergeant Nails talking to her now.
Oh, children, please help me. Somebody took my precious ruby necklace. It was a gift to me from my father.
We'll try, Mrs. Harper. Can you tell us what happened?
The party was downstairs. I had many guests. I was watching the stair, and I'm sure no one went up to my room on the second floor. At first, but then the magician wanted to do some card tricks, so he asked me for a deck of playing cards. I went into the kitchen for just a moment. When I came back, Nancy ran up and told me what she had seen.
A magician? Who was wearing the magician disguise?
Not a disguise. This was a real live magician. He came to the party with Nina Hernandez. He was quite good. He made things disappear.
This is where the thief stole the necklace from. I tested for fingerprints, but there weren't any. Whoever stole the necklace was wearing gloves. There aren't any more clues, but you two are welcome to look around if you want.
Look, Sergeant Nails. There's something here outside the door to Mrs. Harper's room. It's a white chess piece.
But I don't own a chess set. It must have been dropped by the thief.
Hello, detectives. Boy, am I glad to see you. Since Chief Barnes is out of town, I need all the help I can get. I'm trying to draw up a list of suspects. Nancy Marks said she saw a person in a big black cape sneak out of Mrs. Harper's room. Mrs. Harper and I have made a list of guests wearing big black capes. Mrs. Harper only remembers 3. 1, the vampire, Mr. Green. 2, the wicked witch, Miss Polaria. 3, Buckmorrow, who dressed up as the Phantom. Oh, yes. And there was one other suspect. We're relying on what Nancy Marks says. If we can prove she's lying, then we can assume she took the necklace herself.
These 3 people were all at Mrs. Harper's party. Sounds like they're arguing about something.
I'm shocked that anyone would consider me a suspect. I was wearing a black cape, but I did not steal Mrs. Harper's necklace. You see, I was dressed as a vampire at the masquerade party, and my cape was unusual. My cape flaps like bat wings as I walk. If Nancy had seen me, she would have seen that.
At ease, detectives. I did wear a black cape, but you have to believe I'm not a thief, and that's an order. My Phantom costume was really detailed. The Phantom was a guy who was horribly injured in an accident. The costume boots made me walk with a limp. If I'd been the one upstairs, Nancy would have noticed that.
Dear children, of course you realize I did not steal Mrs. Harper's necklace. The very idea is absurd. For one thing, I was costumed as the Wicked Witch, and my witch hat was just over 3 feet tall. If Nancy had seen me from behind, she would have noticed my hat. Therefore, of course, I am innocent.
Nancy's here waiting for us. Let's ask her more questions about Mrs. Harper's stolen necklace.
Hey, gang, how's the investigation going? Have the police arrested anybody yet?
No, not yet. We wanted to hear your full story, Nancy. As the main eyewitness, your testimony will be crucial to our case.
Sure, Jennifer. I'll tell you everything. First of all, Mrs. Harper asked me to help out at her party, so I was there dressed in my harlequin outfit.
Harlequin? What's that?
You know, like a court jester? A clown costume. Anyway, I served little food things all evening. There were a bunch of people there. Later, this magician came in and did some pretty amazing tricks. He asked Mrs. Harper for some cards. I decided to help find some, and so I went upstairs to look. I was up there when I heard a door close. Someone in a big black cape had come out of Mrs. Harper's room. I saw him or her from behind. In one hand, I saw a flash of red, like a ruby.
Wow, Nancy, what did you do then?
I went downstairs and told Mrs. Harper. She went upstairs and discovered her necklace was missing. By that time, all the people in black capes had left the party.
Did you notice anything else about the person in the cape, Nancy? Was he or she wearing a hat or unusual shoes or anything?
No. Wait. When the person moved away, I think I remember seeing something fall, like out of a pocket or something. It was a small white thing. That's all I know.
Hi, Mrs. Meniski. Hi, Ms. Hernandez. We were wondering if you were at Mrs. Harper's masquerade party last night.
I was at the party dressed as the Queen of England. I had a grand time until Mrs. Harper's necklace was stolen, of course. I really enjoyed the magic show. The magician was quite remarkable. He took out a whole set of chess pieces and made them disappear one by one. I could never figure out where any of them went. Of course, I know he's really just hiding them in his hands or in his clothes. But he does it so cleverly it seems like magic.
I went to Mrs. Harper's with a new friend, Mr. Rook. He's a magician, so he didn't have to find a costume. He travels everywhere with his black tuxedo, white gloves, and big black cape. He needs them for his performance. We had fun at Mrs. Harper's party, but we had to leave quickly. Mr. Rook had to get back home to Mount Vernon. I was dressed as a gorilla. Here, we took pictures of each other in costume. You can look at them if you want.
We're ready to solve this case. Which 5 clues do you think point the way to the best suspect? Now choose the person that you think stole Mrs. Harper's necklace. Yes, Mr. Rook was the jewel thief in the black cape, and you can prove it. Let's check the evidence. We had a lucky break on this case. A witness saw the thief. Nancy saw a person in a black cape take the ruby necklace. Unfortunately, since she saw the thief from behind, she could only see the cape, not who the thief was. Since Chief Barnes was out of town, Sergeant Nails was in charge, and he tried his best to do a good investigation. But he overlooked a few things. When looking for clues, he only searched Mrs. Harper's room. He didn't look out in the hall. We did, and found a chess piece. Nancy told us it was dropped by the thief. And when Sergeant Nails and Mrs. Harper put together a list of suspects, they only thought about guests. They forgot to include the magician who performed at the party. When we talked to Nina Hernandez, we learned some interesting things about her new friend, the magician. Things that all matched up with what we knew about the jewel thief. He wore gloves. He made chess pieces disappear by hiding them in his clothing. And he had a big black cape.